all doing tonight? Are you ready for the show?
Are you kidding me?
Get comfortable, folks. You're in for a real show. And now, broadcasting live across the nation, we proudly present to you...
Oh, wow. Are you kidding me?
This just in. This just in. This just in. This just in.
Oh, wow.
A brand new sound is sweeping the airwaves, and you're hearing it here first.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Come on, folks, let's hear that applause. All right, folks, attention to the stage. The excitement starts now. And now, broadcasting live across the nation, we proudly present to you...
Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Can you hear me okay? If you can't hear me, please panic, because I will. You just got the turkey out of the freezer? Good timing, good timing, good timing. Dinner will be between 1 o'clock and Saturday. That's what I think about that. Hello, everybody. Loud and clear, huh? Well, I'm going to give a shout out to Luna. And by the way, those of you that don't know Luna, you'll soon know Luna. Luna is my technical person. And Luna is the editor for the videos. And Luna is principal photographer. And Luna looked at my setup and went, "What in the f*** are you doing?" And then we started to, Luna's like 10 out of 10 on this one. Like, I can hear myself. I've got my monitors. I got my cards. I can do my stuffs. I feel like $1 million, or at least 28 cents on the open market. Anyways, congratulations to all of the winners. I was contacting the winners today from the tour. Those of you that don't know, I was giving away a reading at every one of my tour stops because I can only get to so many people. Also, I was doing a little light reading, a couple of things. That's funny. Elizabeth. Doing a little light reading into the microphone. Like, for instance, you miss your grandmother. Coming out about my ability had its challenges. From criticism by the elderly choir ladies that saw me grow into the Catholic Church as an altar boy, to the graduating class of Shaker 91, which, by the way, isn't this a big day to get together with high school peeps? I haven't seen them in years. But that's just kind of the way it rolls, right? You know, we grow up a little bit, stuff happens, you go on tour, you become world famous, you put out books and YouTube channels. And one of the things, so a couple of things I've learned this year. I've learned that nothing replaces human interaction. Nothing replaces an energy field. I love this. I absolutely love this. I love the challenge of technology. I love that I can reach so many people. I get to say, yay, here you go. But my absolute favorite is getting out there and seeing you guys. It's that simple. So with that in mind, I am going to have a really, really extensive tour next year. I'm going to be all over the place. I'm wearing my King's X shirt, by the way. First Church of King's X. Is it blasphemy? Let's hope. I'm in love with a gay, tall black man. Just going to tell you that. He's got awesome deep tones. I'll let you figure it out. But I really feel like next year I've got to get to some places. Carolinas, you're on my list. Chicago, Portland. I'd love to get back to Memphis, Texas for sure, Florida for sure. Colorado seems to be on the list. In LA, Southern California, I seem to have quite the get up and go down there. I don't think I can do Portland and then go to Southern California. I think that would be a challenge. That's, one of the things is like spatiality in my thing where I'm like, it's just right next door. I ran into that in Austin when I'm like, how far is Houston? Canada. Well, listen, become the 51st state and we'll talk about it. I'm just kidding. Canada would be a very cool thing to do. Logistically, it's actually just that much harder. But that being said, I'm not ruling any of it out. I am not. Of course, if I come to Canada, I'll come to like Vancouver. You're welcome, Nova Scotia. I know you're Labrador or Newfoundland. Anyways, aptly named. So with that in mind, I'm kind of working behind the scenes and I am getting smart about it. Those of you that saw the live show, you met Patty as well as Luna. And Patty is just 10 out of 10 in terms of her knowledge with, stage presence and how to handle theaters and how to book things and everything else. So I don't, I feel like I'm just pulling it together, man. I really do. And I had to take some time away from being in front of the camera all the time. And it was part of it's mom, sure. But part of it's also I needed to figure out where I wanted to go with this. And I still have a very consistent and very full following, and I'm really happy with it. And what I've been filling my time with is I've been going and I'm recording the book right now. Like it's going to be on Audible in December. Obviously, I mean, I've got 4 days to get it done to, in November. But this weekend, I'm a bunch of chapters in. I just got to finish reading it and then putting it in there. And of course, everybody says the same thing. You could put your name you can say a whole bunch of words into AI and then you can have AI do it for you in 5 minutes. No, we can't lose the idea that you have to do the work. Just, and I think AI has its place for creativity. Look at Elaine go, already figuring it out. Would be a drive for sure. Elaine's my West Coast bureau desk. From the bureau desk in Portland, Oregon. Greater Portland. And I love statistics, like scientific statistics, right? But you can tell when somebody's done something in AI, and I think it's going to be a real problem. Oh, and by the way, did I not tell you that Donald Trump was going to pick up and leave this country? It's coming, everybody. It's coming. Just know, we just got to keep the foot on the gas, keep being authentic, keep being who we are. And this isn't an anti-Trump, by the way. This is not anti-Trump. This is anti lack of empathy. Right? The other thing about AI is that, AI has kind of had the carpet laid down for it by crap like Truth Social posts, and just stammering. What's the Tylenol? Whatever. Like, we're getting ourselves to a point where we're immune to dipshittery now, and we can't let that be. We have to call it out. I have a friend of mine, we've even changed the definition of friends. Have you noticed that? A friend. What do I mean by that? As soon as I go friend, what do you mean? Oh, on Facebook. You know, they hijack words and they just make it their own. And it's like, no, that's not okay. I am going to tell you this though. When I stood up to them, they basically posted. There's a program in New York State where they work with people that are low-level offenders, give them a job, work with people that are high risk, and teach them to like not do what they've done. Basically, the penance is right in front of them, and they need to know the difference and not become that, whatever. Well, sure enough, a couple of them were like dealing drugs in, safety orange vests, and they got caught. And guess what? When they went in front of the judge went, "You're a two-time offender now. I have to treat you like a two-time offender. You're going to jail now. You're going to pay a more consequence. You were given an opportunity, and then you screwed it up. So then there you go." And of course, this post consists of like, how much, Kathy Hochul like is running a shit program. No, she's not. It's like it's insane to me, because it's like, here this is this public program of money well spent, because there are statistical advances. They went from like 890 instances of like gun violence or whatever down to like 500. Like just the math itself is like, okay, 300 less, like, okay, we're going in the right direction, right? If you can at least stay at that or chip away at that, okay. And guess what? People are like, oh my God, that's, this is a terrible thing for her, and she's running a shit program and blah, blah, blah. No, she's not. First of all, she doesn't run it. Second, I mean, it's an executive line item that said, we have gun violence in the United States. We have pew pew violence. I don't know what the fuck the rules are anymore. And then sure enough, I give them statistics, and I give them things like, actually, you just proved that it actually works because the people did something wrong again and they went to jail. Oh, you're a snowflake. Oh my God, are we still there? I'm going to tell you this, though. It's time to start having fun again. Have you noticed that no matter how dark it got politically, that you just lived your life? I mean, yeah, there's our burgers are too expensive. Like that's a serious thing. Like I'm paying like $14 for a cheeseburger before fries. I don't think so. Not in my America. No. And still to this day, I will always commemorate the day before Thanksgiving with the best line ever for Thanksgiving. As God is my witness, I could have sworn turkeys could fly. Like, that is the best Thanksgiving line ever. Aside from, hey, Chuck, it's Peppermint Patty. Anybody watch that, by the way? Like, it's kind of my least favorite, the Thanksgiving one, but it's got its place. I mean, the Great Pumpkin kind of is like, but there was another one, by the way, one of my thrifty gifties right here. The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving and Charlie Brown Christmas, all in VHS. By the way, completely useless in my possession right now, but whatever. Right. And, don't forget, there were a couple of more in here. There was in the extended library in between the Great Pumpkin and then the Thanksgiving, there was the one that led up to it. I think it was We're on the Mayflower, Charlie Brown, or something like that. And it's got the most hysterical yet graphic Peanuts like captions ever, where they're on the Mayflower and then people are puking over the side, and they have no problem showing projectiles on that. It's freaking hysterical. Okay, that's a generational thing. Garfield's Thanksgiving. I'm not going to tell you no. Not gonna tell you no. And then there was another one, I think it's a New Year's Day Charlie Brown. Like, they really captured this. So the historical value of it is they came out with the Christmas one first, 1966. I have a funny story about that one. It came up in a reading, and then the following year they had Halloween. And it's interesting when you do the history of Halloween and see how much the United States loves Halloween. I underscored it for a really long time, but um, I think the Thanksgiving one came out first, but they were pushing for the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. But of all of the marketing, I mean, the Christmas one obviously kind of takes the gold, but but the uh, um, but the Great Pumpkin just it sells as much. It has as much merch to it. I mean, the Thanksgiving one is kind of like, all right, and can we end the debate right now? Yes, I know Franklin was on the other side of the table sitting by himself. But as I posted on my personal Facebook, which by the way, I invite everybody to jump on, because I'm really realizing that instead of being a persona, I just need to be a person. You're welcome. And I basically posted the Peanuts table. And I said, yes, I get it. Franklin is on the other side. Yes, he's sitting alone. But that's not the point. The point is that he literally, as they were, one of the debates that went on in the Thanksgiving special was whether or not to include Franklin. And by the way, Franklin is in the Christmas one, but he's sitting in the back, right? Again, you can sit here and poke fun of it and what have you. Well, him sitting at the table was the point. This is at a time when this country didn't know what to do. They had people like Betty White who was getting canceled and saying, "Fuck you, I'm gonna bring on this incredibly talented human anyways." And they canceled her because she insisted on having a black entertainer. And the guy was hysterical. Right? So this is at a time where the United States just didn't know what to do. And quite frankly, Charles Schultz didn't know what to do because Charles like, I have to kind of make this up. I'm going to put him at the table, but I'll put him on the other side. The censors were like, huh, at the same table, huh? By the way, I am fortunate enough to be too young to know a time where I was taught segregation. I don't know what it's like to be taught segregation. But that show like inadvertently shows how incredibly uncomfortable it was in the country at the time to have a black person sitting at your table. Now, that being said, if during this time, if you were white, you had black friends, but there was also still the undercurrent. There was certainly institutional racism that wouldn't allow somebody to kind of have a position of authority unless it was a black owned business. You would also have things that have like an undercurrent to be like, well, it's like if it was a different race, it was almost viewed as a charity conversation. Like, oh, well, they're friends, but we're doing our good deed or whatever horse shit that is. Not really getting the concept of equality quite yet. But the point of having Franklin at the table has nothing to do with where they're sitting or the fact that they're alone. Duly noted, you win the argument. But the point was that he was at the table. The second part, he was invited and he accepted. I'm going to say that again. He was invited and he accepted. That's the part of that we don't often realize is that, just because you all of a sudden you're star-spangled all-inclusive doesn't mean the person wants to be around you because you're kind of a dick. The fact that Franklin had enough forgiveness to just basically be like, all right, guys, or maybe Franklin didn't know the difference. Oh my gosh, generational healing. The table at the Peanuts Thanksgiving was generational healing. And yeah, Charles Schultz put him on the other side of the table and was like, I don't know. Franklin. Sounds like a Quentin Tarantino character. Oh yeah, it is. This is fantastic. So, do you guys watch the Macy's Day Parade? The Macy's Day Parade is in New York. It's about 2.5 hours from where I am, but it would take me 6.5 hours to get there because that's the way Thanksgiving is in the city. And one of the things, oh, look at this. You guys are mapping out my tour. You know what? You guys just tell me where to go. Right? Oh, you like the Disney parade better? Of course you do. Of course you like the Disney parade better. Well, fun fact. I have just been informed my contract got renewed with Macy's. And you're like, Brandon, really? And because it is owned by NBC and all that other stuff, I had also said, okay, had to give away my life a little bit, but I had to say okay to some voiceovers that I did 5 years ago now. And if you go to the, oh my gosh, of course you were, Elizabeth. Well, you can head up the crew chief at the beginning of it. And I have a good friend of mine now who is, she staffs it. She owns a staffing and extra company, and she's really cool. Annie is a superhuman person. And one of the things, and I got this kind of through some back channels, and they said, hey, we'd like you to, do these lines. We're going to pay you, $200 to give us these. And I just gotten all the studio equipment. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. All right. And then, and I just get these sheets, and they're like, this is what you're going to read. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And they're like, no, this is what the job is. So typically in some of those voiceover things, either you get hired outright or they want to get somebody who's like, they don't, like if John Lithgow was Santa Claus, he would be like, hello, I'm Santa Claus. And you're like, oh, Jesus, John, you sound like John Lithgow doing Santa Claus. So they want kind of unknowns, right? So I ended up doing the voice. It was not Santa. It was the voice of the North Pole. So when you get up to the 8th floor in Macy's, oh, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Welcome to Santa's North Pole. Have you been good this year? Santa's helping all the parents this year. So they thought it was good enough that they're going to use it still. And there were plenty of ho-ho-hos and Merry Christmases. And I watch the Macy's Day Parade to see if they use my soundbite every year. That's honestly why I watch it now. I record it. I watch, if I miss some of it, whatever. I love watching the Rockettes, not for the reasons that you think. I just like the tradition. If you've ever done anything performance-wise, holy crap, is that a lot of work? I mean, a ton of work to get everybody on the same page. And listen, all of the musicians none of it's live, but who cares? That's not the point. They're gonna out there and they're gonna lip sync 30 to 40 seconds of their, holiday hit. And by the way, I have not heard the Cursed song yet this year because all I want for Christmas is my and I'm back. So sorry for that. I don't know if I zonked out or what the deal is, but for whatever reason or otherwise purpose, it is just the way that this happens. Of course. Yeah, I think I'm back. Whamageddon doesn't start until December 1st. Are you yeah, the parade itself is just a lot of fun. I've never been to the parade, but how it's always been described to me. I've been involved with parades in Albany. It's fun. Let it be a tradition. Sit back, relax, let the Christmas movie start. Just go back to the shit instead of villainizing it. Just be like, you know what? I kind of like this. You know what? You're right. Franklin sits on the other side. You know what? Charlie Brown's going to miss the football, and every single year you're like, I want to be her. She's so mean. She's such a bully. Yeah, that's the point. Right? No. Yeah, Rachel. Rachel seems to think that it's been there. Yeah, Rita, I've been to the lighting too. And by the way, those of you that don't know, the woman who donated the tree, her last name is Russ. Having fun with that one. And then I actually wrote her, and she wrote me back, and she said, I'm not doing interviews right now. And I'm like, do you even know who I am, lady? I have a book and a YouTube channel. I travel the world. I have the most fantastic following ever. And of course, I want to rename, when they lit the Christmas tree, I wanted to rename it Rockefeller Center. Thank you. Good night. I've been there for the lighting. I've also been there, if you're in the Northeast, it's totally worth it. You must do it. You don't have to go ice skating, but go down to the ice skating rink and smell the ice there. It's really cool. And the kids are just having fun. People are dancing. It's just, and by the way, nobody is saying that we're solving world problems in that moment. They're just enjoying it. I will tell you though, the one thing that I was disappointed, I read this last year, I think was the last year that they were going to do, and they were going to have the cathedral light up, or was it Saks on the other end of it? Like they used to have tons of lights on the other side of it. So a lot of the window shops are gone. A lot of the window things are done. Oh, so it's yeah, the city in winter is always experienced. It sure is. My gosh, I've been down there where you're like, oh, it's like 38 degrees, and you're like, that's nothing. In upstate, you're like 38 degrees. Like, come on, I'm not even gonna wear pants for that. And then you get down there and 38 degrees, and then you're walking on Fifth Avenue, and the wind from the buildings, forget it. Mercy, right? Yeah, and listen, it's you've got to be up for it. It's a thing. You're going to be exhausted. You got to map it out, have a good location. All those things. It's a big deal. Yeah, and to see those things in person, just can we get back to making really cool bucket lists again? Right? Oh yeah, actually, I did know that Saks had a whole astrological thing. And by the way, they usually do. They usually have something there. I'm just realizing like my Trader Joe's lunch is in my shot here. They have this artichoke dip that's pretty good. It's sitting in the fridge. I usually just get like some hummus, some cheese. I didn't want chicken salad, kind of the poultry thing this week. Oh, that's really cool. Is along Central Park. Well, it's funny you should say that, because one of the other things I'm going to be doing next year, it's on my bucket list, and I'm going to make it happen, and you're going to be invited. I'm going to do a retreat in New York City. And you're like, Brandon, don't you want to go to the mountains, the Blue Mountains of the Carolinas? Sure. Brandon, don't you want to go to the Rockies and, know that there's more snow up in Colorado? Yes, sure. Hey, Brandon, don't you want to go to, some place like Costa Rica, or maybe you want to do a retreat in England when your best buddy Penny is moving back there? Maybe, maybe, maybe. But I want to go down for Manhattan Henge. And if you don't know what Manhattan Henge is, hang on. By the way, I am finalizing some things. I'm working with Yankee Trails. I'm hoping it works out. But basically, in a nutshell, it's going to be a retreat. We're going to stay right next to Central Park. We are going to spend a couple of days in Central Park. We are going to see all of the ins and outs. We're going to find waterfalls and meditation spaces in the city because I think it's really important for us to connect with that. We're also going to see Lennon's space. We're going to see John Lennon's. We're going to see the Imagine Park, Strawberry Fields, all of that. We're also going to see the Marionette Theater. We're going to see some other things that I'm coordinating. You will also get an opportunity to see me do a show on a swanky Manhattan rooftop. So we are going to have a really cool time there. And if you're from any other part of the country and you've always wanted to go to New York City, this is going to be a really cool thing. Like you're just going to go ding, ding, ding. Number 2, with that, it is if you're in the Northeast and you're like, I'll give it a try. The people that I'm lining up to kind of help us manage this are going to be, they really know their stuff. One of them is actually a native of New York, and there's a decent chance that you might know who they are, and that's all I'm going to say. There is also the idea that, there's some cool stuff to see there. What do you think of when you go to New York City? You got Broadway. We're going to do some Broadway. Famous theaters, famous foods. If you think I'm going to take a whole bunch of people down to New York City and I'm not going to Katz Deli with you, you're out of your fucking mind. You're out of your mind. Those sandwiches need to be a tax write-off for me. That's all I'm going to say. Have you had a pastrami sandwich from Katz? Oh, and by the way, if you don't know what Katz is, I'll give you a hint. I'll have what she's having. It is the famous Where Harry Met Sally restaurant. And it is, and there's a ton, and by the way, that's right next to the Beastie Boy Way, where somebody is always playing the Beastie Boys out their window. It's insane, guys. Like, you're like, wait, what? Are they really playing Beastie Boys? Is that sabotage in the back? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Am I here in the diner? Yeah, I'm here in the diner. Like, come on. Like, it's just cool stuff. And we'll pack it in, and we'll have a great time, and we'll also meditate in the city. This will be a really cool thing. We're going to hug some trees, and you're going to meet some of the most interesting people you will ever meet. We will have plenty of time to stroll. Even though we're packing it in, you'll have plenty of time. You'll have plenty of time. Like, it'll look packed in, but you've got 2 hours to do whatever you want. Did you know that there's a castle right in the middle of Central Park? Yeah. Did you know that there's a waterfall? Did you know that you could rent a boat and paddle your ass across it? Right? Yeah, you guys get me. You guys get me. You guys get me. Can I get to Queens and back in 2 hours? You could. You could, but you better know somebody and you better tip well. So next year, I'm really planning some cool stuff. I'm going to have my Chicago dates up soon. I'm also going to have the framework for Portland done soon. I'm going to have some more local stuff here locally. Oh, and those of you that did see me, by the way, here's my pitch. This is it. Those of you that are already members here on the site, for $2.99 a month, which is nothing. Come on, it's a cup of coffee. That's my sales pitch. You can see some of the raw footage from the tour. Luna and I spent some time picking apart some things that were cool with people seeing unedited, and that's kind of an expedience of time. We are picking it apart. By the time it's done, this is going to be about, our target is 85 to 95 minutes. Like, that's a good framework for this. And I actually have some B-roll shots after Thanksgiving. I'm going to be sitting down with some of the art directors and theater directors and getting some other, shots to it. Luna's taking care of the edits. We've got about 15 really great readings, and some of the stuff that we're putting on behind the scenes might not make the final cut. That's all I'm going to say. So Carnegie Deli did close. Cat's Deli will not close. They made, I'm just gonna not mince words here. I don't know what the rent is, because obviously that's going to be an offshoot. But in the time that I was there, I watched them sell no less. And I got my sandwich, I sat down, I ate it normally, had I had a hunker of it's so friggin' good. Then I sat there and I took my time and I took my pictures and looked around. I just experienced everything. By the way, my new thing, I put my phone down. I don't live here. I live here. Sorry if I don't get back to you right away. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, I wish I knew that. Oh my gosh, a New York bagel? Are you kidding me? Amazing. You need a New York, and it's got to be done with East River water. There's something about it. It's got that post-pharmaceutical tang to it. But anyways, yeah, I don't live here. I live here. And then, of course, the Pages and Cups guide is out now for 2026. Go to pagesandcups.com. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just trust me and go to the website, watch the video, see what the guide is for next year. You get videos. It's actually a new way that I'm going to be delivering teaching. And I have the Merkaba Chronicles coming out next year. I was really trying to push it for November this year to get the Christmas rush. And then I realized I don't need to rush. I need to get it right. And it's a very complex storyline because I'm interweaving 3 different things, and Paige has to be very prolific in all of the books that I'm going to be writing with her about her. So I'd rather get it right. Boy, do I think I'm getting it right. So listen, guys, there's stuff coming. It's going to be fun. And I want to get back to doing more of this. I need to schedule differently. I may be doing Shuffle Up and Heels in the middle of the day. I may be doing some of the podcasting stuff in the middle of the day, probably more of the podcast. Like this, I'm probably going to just find destination times and kind of go in there. Oh, look at that. Nobody wants to hear that, Philly. Every time a New Yorker's talking about New York City, it's like, New York is great. New York's amazing. New York's whatever. You get one guy from Philly going, have you tried our cheesesteaks? Bill, I'm just kidding. It's freaking awesome. It's the reason. I was actually late for a conference in Philadelphia. I was in that court that was, it's got the love sign, literally. But you know the one that I'm talking about. It's got the thing. And I'm standing there and I'm like, I smell cheesesteak. So they had, it was one of those corporate things like, oh, did you try the rice pilaf? The rice pilaf isn't bad. And it's like dry as shit. So I sneak out, I go down the road and I get a Philly cheesesteak. Well, you order it. It takes 25 minutes to get, and you got to be back in a half hour. And I'm just housing the thing. I'm just covered in it. It's like I'm staying. I don't give a shit. I come in and I sit down and they're like, so you didn't like our food, huh? And I'm like, Herbert Chargers? I don't hate me. There's no hate. There's no shade. But I always think it's funny. Oh, by the way, the only thing worse is when somebody, Boston comes in and goes, yeah, well, the Red Sox are pretty good. And you're like, we're not even talking about baseball. All right, Beantown, let's go. Wait, what? Elizabeth might have come up with the life hack of forever. So I know you can order hot dogs from Katz. This is the funny thing about Katz Deli. It was originally a hot dog stand. And so I didn't know. And they were just like, yeah, you want one with everything. And I was like, no, I want pastrami. As a matter of fact, I don't even want turkey right now. I want pastrami. Like, that's probably funny. But anyways, hey, you guys want to do some cards? I can't believe I've been chit-chatting for 40 minutes. I was frozen for 3. Right? I know. Bill, it's so good. Bill and I have a bunch of things to do next year too. Oh, and Philly. Oh, so one of the other like really intrinsic things that I want to do, I want to start in Maine, get down to Connecticut, take a breather, and then keep going down the East Coast, Jersey into obviously Pennsylvania into Maryland area. I think I can do that. I don't know. Have gift will travel. Yeah, I think you can do the it was a hot dog stand. I thought you could do the pastrami. See, I don't need to know that. It's like seeing people on the internet. So I'm gonna dive in. All right, guys. What do you say we do this? How about if we do it this way? How's that? See. So here's my problem. What if I went like that? Oh, that's not good. It's no bueno. What if I go like this? Yeah, that's not going to work either, Brandon. Hit the escape button. Why don't we do this? Oh, that's not me. I swear I'm still here. What if I created a new one? And I'm going to add... Yeah, that's not going to work. Nobody likes you. I'm not talking to anybody specific right now. I am just trying to... You guys see that? What if I do it this way? How about if I then make my noodle a little bit... my head a little bit like this. And then I go like this. All right, guys. All right, calm down. Don't cover the moneymaker, Brandon. Jesus, are you new at this? What are we doing here? What if I go like this and I'm going to try this. Oh my God, Rita. Yeah, that candy store. I have a friend of mine that went to the House of Seven Gables. And I'm like, did you go? And they were like, yeah. Did you go to the candy store? And I'm like, you son of a... So you don't like this? I just want to be able to, I don't know. Let's give it a try. All right. Let's do some readings here. Let's do some readings. Yes, indeed. And feign yourself after each reading. Well, that's going to get a commentary right there. Here you go, Rach. Boom. All right. Oh, geez. I had it right the first time. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. All right. All right. Orientation. I'm figuring it out. Ace of Swords. 9 of Cups. I'm wondering, are you hosting this year? Lord, give me a strength. All right. So, Rachel, this is what's going on. Come here. It's just us girls. A couple of things. First of all, if you're hosting, you're kind of like, there's a little bit of pride there. There is definitely pride. You're like, I am so happy that I get to do this. And guess what? You're going to pull it off. Because the 9 of Cups really talks about being able to say, hey, look, everybody, look at what I got. I'm happy to share with you. Now, the Ace of Swords is also kind of a new way of thinking about it. So you're approaching things a little bit differently, right? You're approaching the holidays just different, whatever that means, right? Now, the Strength card, well, somewhat self-explanatory, but let's dive into it. I think it has more to do with the opportunity that you're going to have to be able to kind of be the one to carry on tradition. Just thought I'd say that. What does Snoopy have to say? You deserve this. So the tower card comes out. I mean, this isn't a critique on your cooking. It might be. Make sure the fire extinguishers all kind of like gassed up and ready to go. Because of course, by the way, the tower card here is that you are changing something drastically. By the way, are you thinking about going vegan this Thanksgiving? It could mean that. It could mean that you're going to do something, whatever. Oh, and by the way, you're going to show people kind of how kind of sort of spiritual you are. In a way, you're going to be like, look at what I have. And by the way, I'm the peacemaker here. And why stop there? Strength with the judgment card. And the judgment card, of course, is the 2.0 card. This is the one that are you doing seafood? Are you really? Very well, there it is. That's why the tower card comes out here. The tower card is not your critique on your cooking, but make sure you get wine, I guess. So it's a great idea. So you're doing seafood. Awesome. Like this to me tells me if I'm talking about your Thanksgiving, this is a drastic change. You're telling me you're doing seafood instead. Got it. But how do you, are you having stuffed sole? Les poissons, les poissons, les poissons. I'm kind of an asshole. Kind of. But listen, this is a great outcome, though. The 2.0 with the strength is like, they're going to see a different side of you. They're going to be like, this is kind of cool. This is kind of working out. Right? Nothing wrong with that. And they picked what they wanted. So, like, what kind of seafood? You got to say a couple of things here. Like, are you getting lobster? Are you getting some scallops? You doing like giant shrimp cocktails? That'd be kind of fun. I went to a restaurant once. I was in the city in Manhattan. And of course, they're just the queen of salmon, lobster, and shrimp. Good for you. And there's my mom. So I'm in New York City and they brought me this shrimp that was literally this big. I'm like, it looked like it was the first day of the job, if you know what I mean. Brandon, that's funny. So there's two funny stories about salmon and my mom. Thanks, Rachel. Thank you, Rachel. Luna, who is my cousin, we were out at one of the shows and we were trying to find a place to eat, and we're like, just go to Denny's. We'll just get Denny's. We need something. And we get to Denny's and it's closed, and we look across the street and it's Applebee's. I'm like, okay, we're going to Applebee's. So going to Applebee's, and Luna, who, I mean, obviously knew my mom, we were cousins, orders salmon. I'm like, Luna, why'd you order salmon? And she's like, I don't know. It just sounded really good for me. I go, how often do you get salmon? And she's like, almost never. That's my mom. Because my mom's thing is we would go to Applebee's and she would get salmon. Fucking Denny's is closed, and then Luna just orders salmon. Come on, guys. It's called Signs from Loved Ones. I should teach a class. I don't know. I love by the way, make a food comment. Apparently that's what I'm going with. Kay Yerk, how are you? By the way, what time is it there? 4:50 in the afternoon. You might want to get to the grocery store sooner than later. All right, Queenie, here you go. Little Empress action. By the way, this is an interesting take on this. I'm doing a revision of one of my books that I'm going to put out about tarot. And the Empress is pregnant, guys. There's evidence that she's pregnant. By the way, listen, I'm not telling you to get a rabbit instead, right? What I'm saying is that it's the birth of an idea. It's the birth of nurture, right? Kick out. Oh, look at this. I can't get any better than this for you. You get the Mary Poppins card, practically perfect in every way. And why not get the trifecta of change? By the way, is this, and again, you get to know people over time, full disclosure, is this the first holiday or the first Thanksgiving that you're celebrating without him? Rita, I will take the brown rice with some bira. Yes. So that's what this is. That's why this death card comes out. And I'm sorry that it's the word death, but it's really change. And you know that. You know what this is. This is about you changing this. And by the way, this is him saying you did everything perfect. You're practically perfect in every way. And here comes the change. Well, why stop there? Because you got the Four of Pentacles. You feel like you've kind of held back a little bit. You feel like you've kind of been, how do I want to say this? You feel like maybe you have sold yourself a little short at times with being worthy. And the Empress card combined with the Four of Pentacles is very much holding back. And maybe it's also a very healing component to me. There you go. So this isn't just one, right? I'm so glad I'm doing this tonight. And by the way, I'm so glad that the right 23 people are here. Like I feel the need to kind of do this with just the people I know right now. So along with the Nine of Pentacles, we've got the Three of Wands, basically. This is about kind of a new mindset for you. And I think this is an opportunity for you to look at yourself a little differently. I think this is a way for you to look at, and it's not drastic, but this is about what can I do now? How can I be now? Right? So let that be the lessons here. Let that be the part that allows you to become who you're meant to be. Right? It's pretty fantastic, actually. All right, one more card here. Pull out a good, the Magician. So ultimate and alchemy. I hope you're going to like this because I love it. What the Magician card is doing right here is it is literally saying that this is transforming, but the Magician is all about all of your tools. The Magician has everything at its feet. And by the way, music can be healing. Music can be the maestro. Oh, do you like that I'm using the Peanuts card, by the way? I know I am. But don't you also realize that the Magician, along with the Death card right here, is about using your tools for your own personal transformation? Listen, we know you as much as we know you on this chat, right? And I'm sorry you guys haven't seen me so much since July. Stuff happens. But if you think for a second that I don't remember your story, and by the way, thank you for that message, you're out of your mind. Of course I'm going to choose you, and these cards were ready to be shown to you. Of course you're being reminded that you've got it. You've got it. Doesn't say it's easy. Doesn't say you can just take vacation and be like, oh, I'm fine. No. This is about telling you to keep going. Keep going. Keep going. My microphone's sensitive. By the way, I now have it on a monitor so I can hear myself with what I'm putting out. And yeah, that opening thing was freaking loud. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, Eric, I'll be checking in on you. I'm glad you're doing well. Glad you are doing well. Ba-ba. Sorry about mom and dad. And everything else for that matter. Patty, good to see you, kid. We are so back. Yes, we are. We're putting the band. Thank you. I see it, Trish. Yeah, I kind of like our little group too. Yes, you do have to watch them. My advice would be to watch them in order. So I want to tell you one funny story. So I've decided to, and I don't know if I'll get in trouble for this, but so the Charlie Brown Christmas special, I had a reading. You got it. So I had a reading, and I said to this woman, I said, what's the big deal about the Charlie Brown Christmas? And she goes, nothing, we didn't dislike it. And I think we watched it a few times growing up and whatever. And I'm like, no, your mom is like adamant about this. And then I'm like, huh. Yeah, she's telling me that like this is she's pointing to you and pointing to this. I go, "Do you like love it?" She goes, "Nah, it's okay. I don't know." And then we were talking, and then she goes, "Yeah, well, you know," and I go, "Well, you really act like a Virgo." And she goes, "Oh my gosh, I'm totally a Virgo." You know, and I'm like, "Oh, well, what kind of Virgo are you?" "Oh, I'm an August Virgo." "Oh, yeah, the worst kind." Anyways. And then it dawns on me, her mother's like pointing to the movie. Like her mother's doing this in the reading. I'm like, I'm like, what? And then I said, what's your actual birthday? And she tells me what it is. And I go, oh. I start doing the math in my head. And I said, can somebody look up when this came out? And somebody cranks it out. And sure enough, it was 9 months, almost to the day, before she was born, and her mother was trying to say she was conceived during the Charlie Brown Christmas special. I can't make this stuff up. I cannot make this stuff up. Hi, Bethany. How are you? Give me your favorite side. Oh, cookies. We're going to talk about cookies. Ooh, that sounds good. I make the rosemary lemon shortbread cookies. Well, of course you do. Let me guess. Lard or butter? In the meantime, here's your cards. We're going to take the higher ground. We're going to bring balance back to the force, maybe even a little bit of justice, and somebody's large and in charge. Trish, I know you know enough about tarot to know that these are good cards. But why stop there? Here's the Empress card. Oh, we have all the Empress out. And then we have a little bit of anxiety. So maybe you're a little bit worried about like one sticky wicket. But you know what? You're going to take those wands, 4 of wands, and you're going to bring peace to the kingdom. You're going to tell them like it is. All right. So here we go. Kind of left to right here. So you got the 7 of wands. This is kind of taking the higher ground. You're saying, you know what? I will be the person in charge. That's kind of what you're saying there. By the way, I don't like the Empress card in this deck. Where it's Peppermint Patty. Let's be honest, not the most feminine of the bunch. But Lucy couldn't be everybody. So I kind of... Can you see the cards? Oh, could you guys see the cards? Oh, son of a gun. Well, there they are. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Son of a gun. All this time I thought I was doing it right. Now can you see it? See, this is what I had on my screen. Oh, son of a gun, now I know. Okay, well, here we go. So you got the 7 of wands, the Empress. Then you have the Justice card along with the 9 of swords. Little anxiety there. So you're probably worried that they're not going to like your shortbread cookies. But then you're also going to be like, oh yeah, I don't care. That's right. But this King of Wands is kind of like you're going to choke these down because if you know what's good for you, you're going to give me a 5-star review. It's a little bit of that. But I like these leading up to it. Are you entertaining? Are you bringing in the sisters, the brothers? Is it just you and the hubby? Like, what are we doing here? Are you going somewhere? Mexican brownies? I don't know what that is. I don't know what Mexican brownies are, but I'm going to look them up. Well, there you go. Well, you guys are going to have a great time. But then I'm going to expand this a little bit more, and that is you needing to kind of do your reach outs to let everybody know what's going on and just tell them like it is in the best way possible. I think you're standing your ground, actually. This 7, maybe you made the choice and said, you know what, why are we traveling all the way? Hold on a second. Why are we traveling all the way there when I can make just as good a food of the stuff we really want to have, and let's just enjoy this. Chip and cherry cake. A chili chocolate and cinnamon brownie mix. Shut up. Take my money. That's kind of fun. Trish, thanks for being here today. You know I got to go there. But I have to tell you, my favorite of all time, and by the way, Elizabeth, don't go anywhere, stuffing. Like, Michelle, that's all you had to say. You had me at hello. My favorite stuffing includes sausage. My favorite stuffing includes some potatoes in it to get it. That's a technical term. And I can eat stuffing. My favorite, aside from it coming out and hot and whatever, afterwards in the leftover gambit, first of all, I make a big giant vat of cranberry mayo. Like, that's going to go on everything for the next like 4 days. But what I'm going to do with the stuffing is I'm going to kind of square it up, and then I'm going to put it in the air fryer for about 6 to 10 minutes. And I'm going to crisp up all the edges, and then I'm going to put gravy on it. And I don't care that I have a doctor's appointment next week. I don't care. I don't care. And if they're like, "Hey, Brandon, these numbers aren't where we want them to be," I'm going to say, do you have a calendar? Because did you see what I ate last week? It's the one day of the year I kind of lose my mind, so kiss my ass. And by the way, I don't do that bad, but a couple of tricks of the trade. We're going to have fun. So anyways, Michelle, your cards. Here we go. This is just my opportunity to talk about food. The Judgment card comes out. Don't panic. Don't panic. The Judgment card isn't bad. It's also 2.0. This is about a recreation for you. This is also about a balance of two worlds. And then we're about coming from above. This is somebody saying hi from the other side. Hi from the other side. Is that the name of my tour? I don't know. A whole bunch of suggestions. Let's kind of go here. Ooh, the Hangman along with the Judgment card. This is an awesome combination. So the Hangman is about the recreation of looking at things differently. 2.0 is the application of wanting to do things differently. What an awesome combo platter. By the way, I get the sense that maybe you've turned the corner medically. I will just say it that way. And then we have the Temperance card. So again, two balance cards together. I love this. This one's blowing my skirt up, if you know what I mean. So the Temperance card, which is also Sagittarius, you have the Two of Pentacles, right? You kind of have this concrete way. You have this, the Two of Pentacles are the beginning of Taurus. It's April Taurus. So this could be a timing card. This could also kind of be a thing where you have balance for yourself in a way that you can do what you want to do. Right? I'm loving these cards for you. And then the Ace of Spades, along with the Ace of Cups. What do you think that means, everybody? Listen, you don't have to divulge anything. And I'm okay with that. But when you get two aces there, that's an 11. That's some divine guidance stuff going on right there. That is, the Ace of Spades is a new mindset. The Ace of Cups is a way to love, and it is coming from the other side. You love everything about this, right? That's fantastic. I love that for you, Michelle. I really hope your health and your happiness kind of go hand in hand. We've known each other for a while. When I politely say things like you're a stalker, I mean that in the best way. When I call you a stalker, I call you a stalker because I love seeing you. Like, it's just my weird, like, kind of interaction thing. It's kind of like when siblings see each other and they call each other shithead. It's the same thing. Hey, shithead. All right, maybe it's a little mean-spirited, but whatever. That's not the point. Michelle, thank you. It's good to see you. Yeah, that we're very, it's a cornbread stuffing. So, yeah. So black walnuts are a different brand of stuff. Oh yeah, and then some mushrooms. Yeah. And by the way, their shiitakes are the only ones that would work in that cornbread. I just did a couple of stuffing sides, and I learned a lot about them. Like, it's the first time I've like made stuffing without turkey. in a weird sort of way, so I didn't have the trappings, right? Yeah, see, I kind of like that, right? Because I love that idea of like crock potting stuff. Like, it's a lazy day, man. You know, you know, I don't know. By the way, it's the one time of the year you got a kid. It's the one time of the year that I will root for the Lions. They're like my turkey team. I call them my turkey team. Save me a plate. Look at you guys go. You guys are making plans and dates and that sort of thing. Yeah. Oh, Bill, we're going to be in so much trouble when we do our tour stop down there. All right, listen, I'm pulling you up here because I love that comment about the crock pot. What are you making in the crock pot? That's the question. I saw one that was like a full Thanksgiving dinner where it had a little stuffing, it had some potatoes, and they added in turkey. So it was kind of like the plate mix, if you will. And I think they had something else. They didn't have green bean casserole. They had and it might have been the squash. And then they, when it was over, you poured gravy on your plate with it, and away you go. Like, it was kind of like an all-in-one thing. I was mildly interested. I don't know if I would replace it, but look at you go with the Page of Wands. You're all about the new idea. You are going to love a new idea here. I have a feeling you're going to say something very, like, energetic. A cornbread casserole. There you go. There you go. Makes perfect sense. And then the Knight of Wands. Oh. Now, if you get the Queen of Wands here, you know somebody's up. Oh, then you got the Moon. What's the change? What do you? Can I go here with this with you there, Hussy? Yeah. What'd you just learn? Did you uncover a sibling? Did you uncover somebody came back into your life? That's kind of what this is talking about here. Strength. Huh. Wheel of Fortune, Destiny, and then the Nine of Pentacles. You're dealing it with grace. You lost your mom a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. So you have dreams with mom in it. That's what this is telling me. So this is you going through something new. This is your first Thanksgiving alone. You understand what I mean? The Knight of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune. Mom did everything she could do to fight everything that she needed to do, kid. It's just, you can't. And this Wheel of Fortune is everything happened the way it was supposed to happen. So you can beat yourself up if you want to, but there's value in being able to know that everything happened the way it was supposed to. Listen, I can say this when I couldn't say it last year. I get it. I just get it. Was it September 23rd? I don't know why she's showing me September. She's showing me September. Maybe this is her birthday. But the moon phase is about uncovering things. And then this is also, I think what this is ultimately uncovering is your ability. Because the Nine of Pentacles is about you stepping up. November 6th. Okay. What is September to her, though? Because she's, oh, it's a 9. It's a 9. Where else are we going here? Oh, New Year's. What's the first week in January? She's also talking about yeah, so I made a video earlier today And I actually meant to make it 3 days ago, but that's, the best day to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best day was this afternoon in the parking lot. And it's kind of doing a thing where you remember your loved one, right? My brother's birthday is in January. Okay. Because she's pointing to January. And what you do in this exercise is you bring a tchotchke. You bring the movies. You bring the mug. You tell a story. The person that brings it tells the story. Gets to start by telling the story of, this was a mug that mom made or mom brought, and she would always, this stupid thing got us stopped at the TSA, and they frisked her, and they were like, you've got illegal ceramics, and we didn't know it was illegal ceramics. We thought we were going to get arrested, and we've got this whole convoluted story around the mug. And then other people at the table get to tell the story of, yeah, mom was like, that mug is more important to me than your life, and whatever. I'm being dramatic, but all of the things connected to that object is going to do a few things. One, it's going to give you a chance to tell a story about them. There is nothing more powerful at your Thanksgiving dinner table than being able to share a story about your loved one. I got so many, I don't know which one I'm going to say, right? Well, start by one. The second thing is you're going to get perspective. You're going to hear what the brothers and the sisters and the whatever all have different perspectives. And they're going to talk about your mug. They'd just be like, we thought you were the favorite. And they're like, no, you're the shithead. Right? And it gives you an opportunity to hear them and the other people's perspectives, the other people's story. And the third thing that you're doing, and you don't even realize it, is you're healing. You're freaking healing. You're also a facilitator of that healing. And trust me when I say this, I get it, I understand it. Sometimes you just don't want to talk about it. I hope that you can find the courage to say some words tomorrow about people that you've lost. A parent, a spouse, child, whatever. I'm working with a woman right now who is, this is her 4th year without her daughter. And the first year, she didn't celebrate anything. It was just another day. Just get me through the day. Do the day. Do the day. And it's funny. This is New York City written all over it too. And she came to me for a reading. I said, I'm like, you guys went down to American Doll. She goes, holy shit, that's her. We would go down. It was a big deal. In my mind, we were going to go. We brought her down when she was 7. We brought her down when she was 10. And we were going to bring her down when she was 13. And 13 didn't happen. And I said, okay. So she's bringing this up. And being able to bring you and bring her to your day, to your event, to your whatever, do it in her honor. And and those of you that don't know about American Doll, like it's kind of a thing. I'm not even sure they're open anymore. Like I think they just closed. I hope they're still open. Because it's a really big rite of passage for a lot of people in upstate New York to go down and bring their kid, their daughter, their granddaughter, whatever. Well, she went and she talked one of her friends into going, and she's like, yeah, my friend's like, there's part of me that doesn't want to do this. But they go down. They walk into American Doll, and she's like, I'm just going to walk in as if we would have walked in, but I'm not buying anything because it would have been for her. But I am going to go through with the courage and get myself there. And she walked in, and again, if you don't know anything about American Doll, they have sculptors that envision people and then create the doll around them. Like it's a true art form. And she walked in and one of the dolls looked like her daughter. And if you got a dry eye right now, you're not human. And she points it out to her friend, and they just, she's sitting on the floor at American Doll crying. And I mean, this is like a $500-$600 doll, by the way. Like this was like one of their pristine things. And the manager came over and said, "Do we need to call the ambulance? What are we doing?" She came to her feet and they started to talk, and they got her a glass of water, and they sat down, and he said, part of the reason why that's in the case is because the man who created that is here today. Would you like to meet them? She's like, yeah, I don't have to, but yeah. And then when the man came downstairs, she said, I'm how did you decide on her? You channeled my daughter. And he said, well, she came to me in a dream. And she said, my mom's going to come get me someday. And the manager had already prepared the basket, the box, the bassinet thing, whatever. And he said, you are the one that I kind of made this for. And by the way, they had hundreds in production. Like they made whatever. He said, I made this for your daughter. Put it in there, wrapped it up, and said, this is for you. I'm glad you came to get it. I do this for a living, and I fell out of my chair. And part of the lesson I want you to take away from this is, I get you don't feel like doing stuff. I get it. I get it. I'm not going to tell you, pick yourself up by the bootstraps and get it done and blah, blah, blah. That's horseshit. And when you do find the courage to do things, you're going to see signs. You're going to find out coincidences, and you're going to see things you're supposed to see. And I don't care if it's the cardinal or the penny or the feather or hear the song or smell the perfume or whatever. It's going to happen. Of course, somebody mentioned salmon in this. That was a running joke. So one year I came out and I said, okay, I'm here to take your order. You want the turkey? Because you get the turkey. We got the turkey. You got the turkey. We got the turkey. We got the turkey. I get to my mom and I go, you want the salmon? That was a family joke. Just out of curiosity, 1023, I don't want to keep calling you hussy, but I'm sure it's not derogative. But what are the signs that she said that she would give you? My mom just loved to say, well, I'm going to haunt you. Mom, we don't haunt, right? But is there any specific signs that you guys have seen from your loved ones just this week? Feathers and butterflies, very cool. And listen, even if you don't have an object, why not talk about the signs? Oh, and by the way, when the skeptics sit there and go, you think that feather's mom? Yeah, I fucking do, Knuckles. By the way, be sure to try the veal. Pennies. There's always one in the group that just that doesn't like your Cheerios. Come on. You are killing me, Smalls. So she passed on November 6th, and it's 11:15. Got it. I'll be there one way or another. It's the old Pretender song. By the way, if you hear One Way or Another by the Pretenders, just know that's her. That song's 43 years old now. How old am I? What am I doing here? I feel like I'm Ethel Merman every time I get in the middle of things. I still think I somewhere in my mind when I wake up, I think I should be excited that the roller skating party is coming up at school and I get to skate to my favorite hits. Like somewhere in my brain that still exists. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that I'm going to go up to that little redheaded girl and say, "Would you care to dance? Would you care to skate?" And me, her, and Ario Speedwagon are going to keep on loving you. And that's the only thing we're going to do. Yeah, I just want to keep. I just want to keep on loving you. There it is. By the way, here we go. By the way, I'm kind of liking this setup, but I am going to tweak it. This is January 9th. This is the first week in January. The moon, are you Cancerian? Hussy, are you a Cancer? Because the moon is representative of that. I also get the strong dream stuff with this. Or are you the Leo? Oh, who's the Leo? Scorpio. Oh, yeah, 1023. By the way, Scorpio right there. She doesn't know anything about tarot, so I'm going to give her a half a break. Yeah, the moon is a very messed up card in tarot. And the Leo. Is she the Leo? This is a very interesting thing. Oh, there you go. Part of your dad's music, right? Kevin Cronin, especially when you can start pluck out members. Oh, hey, Alex. I normally think of my stepdad as a deer, but I hunt and I can't seem to get a deer at all. Well, there you go. Well, are you getting it up early enough in the morning? Yeah, so she was an Aries. March 23rd is my mom's birthday. I got you, Mom. I got you. Of course. You can't make this shit up, guys. You just can't make this up. So, Hussy, you and I have things in common. Yeah. Well, I'll be there. I'll haunt you. Yeah, I'll haunt you in your readings, is what she's trying to say. All right. Of course. I have a book to record tonight, okay? All right, let's do a general reading here. Let's get all right, how's your Thanksgiving gonna go? Full of loss, transition, change, thinking about loved ones. You're gonna fight. Oh, Jesus Christ, Brandon. Way to channel Mom again. And then the Ace of Wands. I'll tell you what, we're gonna do 2 levels onto this because we're better than that. Why don't I do it this way? I'm gonna go like this so we kind of get more out of this. Okay. So, this is the anxiety of the day. It's like it's a heavy heart thing. This is the conflict. This is the kids' table itself. By the way, I was the one that had the milk come out of my nose, just to let you know. This is about timing. This is about Romeo and Juliet. This is about getting together once a year, right? Then this is about the hard work that goes into it, the taskmaster, everything to it. And within our identity, we pull out the wounded warrior, which, by the way, is It's the first week in December. It's the card that, shows us that we're, the pearl onions. Nobody likes that shit. I love this spread for everybody. This is a general reading for everybody. So this is about the heavy heart that you have coming into it. You worry about the conflict, and then you're using some new tools. Then you have the timing. The timing card. You only have that time. Yes, it's a little bit of hard work, but you're the wounded warrior. This is about breaking family cycles. That's what I think that this spread is about. Okay, let's see what Snoopy has to say. Oh, no, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. By the way, the 2 of Pentacles is balancing worlds. So, yeah, this is signs. This is signs from loved ones. This is how they're showing up, right? But wait, there's more. And then we have the 5 of Cups. Well, you guys with the 5 of Cups and the 5 of Wands, you know what that is? That's all family wounds. That is the shithead that... Does everybody have the one uncle that's like really good? Like when they have 1 beer, they start to warm up. 2 beers, they're perfect. And 3 beers, you got to send them out. Right? Just letting you know. But this double down of the 5 is it's just the pain in the ass that it is. This is the reason why you're getting this kind of anxiety thing. The Emperor comes in along with the Ace of Wands. This is the head of the table putting their fist down and saying, we're not putting up with this. They go a little D. Snyder and they say, we're not going to take it. Then the Knight of Spades, which is the Knight of Swords along with this, is making the most of your opportunity. It goes by too quick. The Knight of Swords is just rushing in. Comes in flailing all over the place, going, I'll save you, like Dudley Do Right. And you're like, bah, 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 bah. So this is a reminder that even though you get together once a year, don't waste it on your pissing and moaning. Excuse my French. Then the King of Cups. Somebody loves you from the other side. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And then the Wounded Warrior along with the King of Spades. This is about, so you got 2 kings back to back. One of them is about love and the other one is about the emotional fortitude that you have to get through it. Here's the crux of this reading. You are born into this family because you chose them and they chose you. They accepted, they allowed you in all of the trials and tribulations, whether you want to talk about the socioeconomic conditions that you were born into, the race, color, creed, or behaviors and traditions that you grew up with. That's you. No matter how far away you move, no matter how much you don't answer their texts, they are still you. But you've grown. You have taken your heartache and you understand that they're still with you. You know that the old wounds of the fight and the loss and that this one did that and that one stole this and this is blah, blah, blah. Not tomorrow, they didn't. They did that in the past. And by the way, they're still a shithead for doing it. But it's up to them to figure it out because we're barreling towards the age of Aquarius. You are not their boss. They will stand on their own recognizance, their own 2 feet. You are a family for better or for worse. Then you have the Ace of Wands. This is a new idea, the new way to do it. The Emperor comes in and saying, let's do this the right way. By the way, you only get together but once a year. Timing. And it goes by quick. You only get a couple of hours with them. Make them laugh. Don't create another trauma. Create a memory, for crying out loud. Then the King of Cups is the self-love and the hard work that you've put in to say, you know what? I am not going to let this family define me, but I know full well where I came from. And then you know what? The King of Cups just says, self-love is the basis of all love. And then you've got the Wounded Warrior because you have grown. You are the person you are today because your family was the way they are. For better or for worse. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them all, and there you have every freaking family. Can't shake it. Those subtle challenges that you had along the way were gifts. And what a zinger of a card. The King of Swords, the King of Spades. I always want to sing Sting with that. King of Spades. I stand behind my readings. By the way, guys, I am on a different plane now with how I conduct connection. I just am. I can't explain it. And I'm proud of it. Because what I just showed you was Thanksgiving. My general reading for Thanksgiving made you remember the people you've lost, helped you understand that they're old cycles that still might need to be addressed, but you've got a new attitude. And you have to remember that you only have a brief amount of time, both on this planet and as your role to them, as the cousin, as the grandchild, as the nephew, as the sister, brother, uncle, whatever. Insert role here. You ain't got a lot of time. And it's hard work. And you learned how to love yourself by the family cycles that presented themselves. It's a thing. And the outcome is that you're a better person for it. And that King of Wands comes up a little bit cold, a touch distant, but in control, emotionally in control, mature. You're the grown-up at the table, no matter how much you want to go back to the kids' table. This reading is about you getting and graduating from the kids' table. I didn't plan any of this. All of it. It's time to grow up, guys. The world's cold out there. But when you're sitting around with your family, that's the one time your inner child goes, yeah, let's do this. I would do anything to have a traditional Thanksgiving with my cousins again. This one's up in New Hampshire. That one's down in Connecticut. That one's over here. This one's over there. Is it practical? No. Do I love it every time I see him? Hell yeah. Do I wish I could go back for one day and have it be a Thanksgiving? Kind of, sort of. Because even though I was in the kids' table, in the kitchen, it was always just the kids. And the adults were in the other room. And you could be whoever it is that you wanted to be. I was making fun of the world, laughing, carrying on, all of those things. But the one thing I didn't realize until lately is that part of the reason why I was so funny is because I felt safe. I was maybe funny because I was being performative, or that was the way I could get attention at the time. But part of it was I just felt safe. We had plenty of food. The green bean casserole was soup. Sucked. The pearl onions were completely unnecessary. The food was pretty good, but the company was amazing. Here's your heart taps, guys. I wish they had Zoom in heaven. I'll make a video on that. Here is the heart taps, guys. I want you to have a great Thanksgiving. I want you to do something that you love. By the way, the entire Charlie Brown Thanksgiving is out there in bits. You can watch the whole thing. You just have to click from video to video, but you can see the whole thing right now. So heart taps to you guys. I hope to see you more here in the future. And I want you guys to remember, keep going. Take the opportunities when you have them. Okay. All right, guys. Keep going.